For this week's assignment, I've designed a 1-month exercise program to focus on an individual experiencing overactive hip adductor complex and TFL, as well as underactive glute medius and maximus. You'll notice as you go through the exercise program, the written portion each week reuses a lot of the same exercises, however builds on progression, so that by the time this individual reaches weeks 3 and 4, they're able to participate in more difficult integration activation exercises and progress in band tension and weight. Okay. So let's get started. We're going to go ahead and display 3 different SMR techniques that this 1-month program is going to focus on. The first SMR that I'm going to have Dustin show you is the SMR rolling of the TFL IT band. He's going to be up on his side with his weight on the roller. He's then going to roll going from knee to hip, back down to knee. He's going to continue that for 30 seconds, rolling back and forth. The second SMR technique that we are going to display for this instructional video is going to be SMR rolling of the hip adductors. As you can see, Dustin is currently in the prone position. He has his left leg straight and his right leg is abducted, knee bent, and he is resting his abductors, or I guess his inner thigh, on the roller. He's going to try to put as much pressure onto the hip abductor as possible, and he's going to then roll from knee to groin. One more. Good. This is going to be done for 1 set of 30-second rolling. The third technique for this video in our SMR section is going to be SMR holding. This is recommended to be done after rolling so that when you're rolling you can find the most tender point or spot. And so this technique, what you're going to do is once you've located that tender spot, you're then going to hold that spot on the roller with applied pressure for 30 seconds. So if we say that Dustin's tender spot is just above the knee, say there, he would hold this position for 30 seconds. Okay. As the individual progresses through the month, they will be rolling, then holding using the roller. Progression steps is going to be rolling with a smaller diameter roller and holding with a ball. For the lengthening phase of this exercise program, I've used quite a few different types of stretching methods. We're going to go ahead and show you 4 different stretches that will be used throughout this monthly program. The first stretch here is a standing adductor stretch. So as you can see, Dustin's currently standing with his feet pretty wide apart, toes facing forward. Thank you. And what he's going to do is, in order to stretch his right hip adductor, he's going to bend his left leg, trying to keep his trunk straight. And then as soon as he feels that stretch in the groin, inner thigh, he's going to hold that for 30 seconds for 1 set. Okay. The second stretch we're going to show you is to also stretch the adductors. It's the seated butterfly stretch. So Dustin's going to have a seat. He's going to keep the bottoms of his feet together. He's going to try and bring the heels close in. Using his arms, he's going to help push down. And he's going to hold this for 30 seconds so that he feels a nice stretch in his adductors. The third stretch we're going to show you is the supine TFL stretch. To help with the position of the stretch, I have a small dog leash. If you have a dog leash, that works perfectly. If you don't, you can always loop the end of a belt so that you can hold on to it. But what we're going to do is, Dustin is currently in the supine position. We're going to use this loop to put around his foot. It's just his midfoot. He's going to raise his leg so that he can hold on to the leash, straighten out the knee, and he's going to then begin crossing over so that he feels a stretch in the side of his hip. Do you feel a stretch? Good. This is going to be one set of a 30-second hold. For the fourth stretch that we're going to show you within this monthly exercise program, we're going to go ahead and demonstrate how to do the standing TFL stretch, TFL IT band stretch. Dustin's going to cross over his left leg because we're currently focusing on the right, and then he's going to push out his right hip until he feels that TFL IT band kind of catch on his hip so that he feels a pull. Do you feel stretching? Yep. Okay, so that's going to be one set of a 30-second hold. For the activation phase of this monthly exercise program, I've decided to focus on exercises that are going to strengthen the glute, max, and medius, as well as a few thrown in to help with the abductors, since the adductors are likely to be overactive in this scenario. The first exercise is kind of like a easy beginner's exercise that will be progressed throughout the month. These are clamshells. Dustin's currently lying on his side. He has his ankles together and his knees bent. What he's going to do, he's going to act as if his ankles are kind of fused together, and he's going to hinge open and closed here. You can go a little further. Thank you. And this is going to be 2 sets of 15. As we progress through the month, we're going to add a band to the knees to add tension, and then shy away from the abductors via clamshell and move to more complicated standing abductor exercises with tension and the cable column. The next exercise Dustin's going to show you, he's going to roll onto his back. He's going to have his knees bent, feet flat. We're going to focus on a bridge. He's going to make sure that he takes about 4 seconds on his way up, hold and squeeze the glutes for 2 seconds, and then relax on the way back down. Squeeze, and good. This is another exercise that is easily progressed. As we move through the month, we can add an exercise ball for the bridges to be completed, and then once your individual has kind of plateaued at that point, we can progress to using the exercise ball with ankle weights and include marching in those bridges while they make sure that they have gluteal contraction occurring. The third activation exercise that we're going to go ahead and show you is a quadruped hip extension. So Dustin's going to go ahead and turn onto his hands and knees. And I'm going to go a little bit higher. All right. So we've been focusing on the right foot or on the right leg. We're going to continue with that trend. He currently has his knees in a 90-degree angle as well as his hip. However, he's going to be extending his hip while maintaining that 90-degree angle of his knee. Now, this first one, you can see he went very wide out. So this time he's going to make sure that he goes directly back. Good. And back down. This again has that 4 2-second hold and then relax back up. Or back down, excuse me. Good. One more. And back down. You're going to have your individual complete 2 sets of 15 repetitions. The fourth activation technique that we're going to show you for this monthly program is one of the progression versions of the clamshells. As I said before, clamshells are a very easy beginners type exercise, and as you progress your individual, we're going to move on to the standing abduction, starting with resistant bands. and then they can progress to using the cable column so that they have weighted resistance. In this scenario, I'm going to hold the band for him. If he were on his own, he could put a loop in the band and close it into a doorway so that he could do this on his own. But I'm just going to loop this around his ankle and hold a bit of tension. He is going to try to maintain his one-legged balance, and he is going to maintain that forward foot, and he's going to abduct. Do you need a little less tension, or is it a little less? Okay, go ahead. Good. One more. Dustin went a little bit fast there. You're going to want to slow your individual down with a 4-2-2 second tempo. And they are going to complete 2 sets of 15 repetitions. The last thing we're going to talk about in this video is different types of integration exercises that have been included in this monthly program. To start off with, I've included a floor cobra exercise. This can easily be done in the beginning of their exercise program, so I do have it in the first couple of weeks before phasing it out to higher progressions. Dustin is currently in the prone position. What he's going to do is he's going to contract his glutes as well as his erector spinae so that he can lift his chest, arms, and legs, as well as his head, up off the floor, maintain a 2-second hold, and then relax back down on the ground. So let's go ahead and do that. So he's holding and then relaxing. Let's do one more there. Good. Hold and back down. This is going to be 2 sets of 15 repetitions. The second exercise for the integration phase that we are going to show you in this video is an alternating quadruped reaching. So Dustin is currently on all fours. What he's going to do is he's going to try and maintain this same level with his body as he reaches. He's going to reach forward with his left arm, extend his right leg, hold for 2 seconds and relax. And then he's going to alternate to the other 2 limbs. This is going to be 2 sets of 15. It can easily be modified as you progress your individual by adding ankle weights or wrist weights as well. The final exercise we're going to show you for the integration phase is a sidestepping with a squat. This is also an easily progressed activity because you can add ankle bands and then increase the tension as the individual progresses through their program. I would recommend doing 2 sets of a 20-foot distance. We are a bit limited in our space, so Dustin's just going to do 2 steps in each direction. But essentially he's going to step to the side, complete a squat, come up, and then continue on. Keep going. Looks like you got 3 in there. And then he's going to come back in the other direction. Good. Again, this would be 2 sets of a 20-foot distance.